Player comparisons for Allen Flanigan. I spent last season at Ole Miss after 4 at Auburn. A dynamic athlete who's productive, but not a star in college. Really was that for 4 of his 5 years, other than his freshman season. Riley, I want to hear your best case scenario for your best case player comp for Allen Flanigan. Who is that?
Best case is Derek Jones. And if you watch the scouting report, I mentioned situation for him. Derek Jones was someone who bounced around the G League a lot, was a one-time like high 4-star recruit coming out of high school. Streaky jump shot as well. That was probably his biggest question, but always had that high flying athleticism. Also appeared in a dunk contest, which I predicted for Allen
Yeah,
Flanigan.
yeah.
But he's you also have another lefty, like lefty to lefty, and finally landed in a great situation with the Mavs. And maybe, it might take Flanigan 5-6 years to get there, but I think best case for it to break that way, it would be a similar career path, similar role.
I like that as best case a lot. I'm going to go ahead and cede to you. I went with AJ Lawson, South Carolina. Same kind of build. He's
Mm-hmm.
6'6", lanky. Took him a while to find his footing in the NBA. He did not get drafted. Spent the first 2 years of his career in the G League, and he got a chance with the Timberwolves. Played a game there. Then the Mavs signed him, and was a bit player from the Mavs in 2 seasons ago. This past season played in 42 games for the Mavs. Wasn't a ton of minutes, averaged 7.5 minutes per game in those 42. 3.2 points, 1.2 rebounds. Was not a consistent, like contributor or anything like that, but has worked his way now to where he played in 42 games, more than half the games in the season. I think that's probably best case for Allen Flanigan's career, personally.
Mm-hmm.
But Derek Jones, I think, is realistic, and I think is a better case than AJ Lawson. I'm willing to cede that to you. I'm willing to cede that to you.
Appreciate that.
Who is your worst case?
Worst case, Shaeed Brown, another 6'5", 6'6" wing with good athleticism, streaky jump shot, defensive tools that never really came all the way together. And yeah, he's mainly been a G League guy, and I believe he's overseas now.
Is it bad that I don't remember that? Who that is?
Played at Wake Forest, then transferred to Michigan. He was part of
Oh
the
yeah, yeah, yeah,
lone good
yeah. Okay,
Juwan
yeah,
team. He was their sixth man, played with Hunter Dickinson his freshman year.
yeah. Okay, I like that. I see that.
I was a
Um,
huge believer that I was like, dude, Shondy's going to stick on the playoff team. And then Greg, our resident Michigan fan, was like, dude, he's really not that good of a defender. He just has broad shoulders and long arms.
so I went with Josh Selby, who played for Kansas in the
Hmm.
late, I think it was the early 2000s, early 2010s, excuse me. Yeah, 2010, 2011 season. Athletic, didn't do a whole lot else super great, but Flanagan doesn't have this pedigree. But was a McDonald's All-American, just high flyer, athletic, great in transition, could do a number of different things with the ball in his hands. Um, Played 1 season in the league with the Grizzlies, or sorry, parts of two, 38 total games in the league, and then spent the next decade in between the G League and overseas.
I think that's a pretty good. I think either of our worst case would be good pulls.
I'm going to request that Selby wins this because of this fact that I think is one, hilarious, and two, I could see Flanigan doing this. Um, Josh Selby was co MVP of the 2012 Summer League with Damian Lillard.
That's hilarious.
Going
If
into
we
a
get, remember like the when Ole Miss was playing a bunch of bums in the non-con this past year and Flanigan was averaging 19 a game, maybe
yeah,
we get that type of run from him through summer league and it happens.
I could see him being a Summer League star.
I could.
He's experienced. I
All right,
was
you sold me. Well, it's Derek Jones and Josh Selby.
Derek Jones and Josh Selby for Allen Flanagan. A good duo there. A good duo there. And hey, if you end up worst case scenario, you carved out a decade plus career G League overseas. That's not nothing. That there's some money to be made there. So either way, it seems like Allen Flanagan might be in good shape.
The NBA draft is coming up, and I've got something awesome for you. We are partnering with the people at NBA 2K Lab. NBA 2K is the best video game on earth. The people at 2K Lab are making some awesome stuff to make that game even more fun, and they just launched their 2024 NBA Draft Simulator, where you can find the official Sleepers Media big board. We ranked our top 75 players in this draft class. Me, Carter, Brian Ralph, Riley Davis. We did it together, and it is featured on the 2K Lab NBA Draft Simulator. You can take control of any team in the draft, play GM with just one click, and see our entire rankings before these videos even come out. Check out the link in the description of this video to try out the draft sim for yourself, and you can find more mini games at nba2klab.com/NBA-mini-games.